Hi, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I am Becca Jo, aka the Makeup Tax Lady. Today we are going for this fun Beetlejuice look. Of course, with the new Beetlejuice movie coming out, I have not seen it, but we've been seeing lots of different Beetlejuice inspired looks and such on Instagram, on YouTube, wherever you get your content. And I just wanted to find another excuse to play with the beautiful makeup that I have. So this is what we're doing today. We ended up with very similar to what I anticipated, especially for the eyeshadow. I wanted a little purple, a little green, and a lot of drama. On the lips, I tried the Beetlejuice trend, and it's not the most obvious, but it's still glam. We've got some green and multi-chrome going on the lips, and it's fun. We are playing with makeup. We are having fun. We are being creative. So I thank you so much for joining me for today's video. You're about to see a very much less colorful Becca Jo, so let's get right into it. I am so excited to get into this look. For starters, I already have a little bit of makeup on my face, so let me walk you through what I'm wearing. I have my Natasha Denona Under Eye Corrector in the shade C1, Smashbox Tinted Moisturizer in Fairlight, RCMA No Color Powder under my eyes and blend it out all over my face. Give Me Glow Bronzer, this is the shade Ocean Drive. I have this on my cheeks, a little bit on my nose, and then brushed ever so slightly through my crease on my eyes. For blush, I have a combination of my Give Me Glow blush, this is the shade Ginger Spice, and this Bare Minerals Loose Powder Blush, this is the shade Beauty. Just a nice mauvey pinky shade. I have my Sydney Grace Clear Strong Brow Gel and my Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. And I just added a little bit of this Blend Bunny Lip Oil just to the center of my lips to, let's just say, prep before we get to the lips in this look. So I am just gonna add a little bit of eyeshadow primer. This is my About Face. So I have kind of a vision for this look. Of course, you guys have seen the intro, so you know what it turns out to looking like. But the idea, the concept that I have in my head, I'm wanting to do the trending Beetlejuice lips, so we'll do those at the end. But for the eyeshadow, I'm wanting to reach into the greens, like the neon greens and kind of the pukey greens, you know, to go with my psychedelic butterfly shirt. And I want to bring in some of the purples too. So I'm kind of thinking that I'll do purple on the inner portion of my crease and green on the outer portion of my eye. And then Brittany Ray did a Beetlejuice themed look in one of her recent videos. I'll have it linked in the description below, where she had a blown out purple lower lash, and I thought it looked really cool. So that's kind of where my head is at right now. I'm just gonna dip into and play with whatever products that I have here in front of me that I have in my collection, not sticking to any particular palette or brand or anything like that. And we're just gonna play today. So where are we going to start? I'm also planning on going in with multiple different shades, just kind of a whole eyeshadow fest on the eyes. But this purple and this green are kind of in the direction that I was originally thinking. So let's start with the shade Thistle. This is the Ensley Rain Flourish palette. I love this palette. So I just picked up this Sigma E27, but I'm going to use this to grab the shade Thistle and start on the inner portion of my crease. Look at the pigmentation in that shade is phenomenal. I love it so much. And that color is exactly the shade that I was thinking. This is gonna be a good look. I'm excited. That is such a pretty shade. I love that shade so much. But we're talking Beetlejuice, so we're talking a little fun, a little crazy, a little all over the place. So that's kind of how I've started with this shade, and I'm gonna keep doing that with the other shades that I add, just kind of explosion on the eyes, not really trying for a particular shape or structure to the look. I just brushed off that brush. Now I want to go in with the shade Petal Pop here and put that on the outer portion of my eye, probably in a V shape. Probably in a V shape. Next, I want to go into the Ensley Rain Flutter palette and grab this shade, Magic Moss, and put that over here as well. The way that those two greens paired together to give us this pukey, still neon green that feels so Beetlejuice, and I'm really happy with that. Okay, next I want to take this shade, which is Cheshire's Secrets from the Ensley Rain Twisted Tea Party palette, and I'm going to use that to build up a little bit the purple that we're working with in the inner corner. Now I'm going to go back into the first purple that we used in the Flutter palette and bring that back to like the outer portion of the purple. I want to take the yellow shade Begonias from Flutter and kind of use that to blend all of this together and then pull out this green just a little bit more. Okay, that did what I wanted it to like kind of blend the shades together in the center, but I lost the like neon punchy. So I'm going to go back in with Petal Pop and add that back in. I'm really liking this new Sigma brush, new to me Sigma brush. It's got a nice shape to it. So it's like a little bit thinner, but it has a little bit of fluffiness to it too. So you can use it to like pack and blend. I saw Batty Bean talking about this brush in her Sigma set, and I was really intrigued by it. So I picked this one up from a local store. Okay, I want to add a little bit more depth to the outer portion of my eye. And I think I want to use the shade Electric. This is the Ensley Rain Cosmic Dreamer 2.0 palette. I'm going to use Electric to deepen up the outer portion of my eye. I feel like that combo of green shades and then a splash of purple on the inner portion is so Beetlejuice. So fun. I'm gonna dip back into the Flourish palette into our neon green shade here just to add that vibrancy back once again. I don't feel like it's lost, but I just want to keep bringing that to the forefront. I do want to, I keep wiping this brush off in between shades, by the way. I have one of these little TJ Maxx value Sigma switch, I think is basically what it is. So I'm cleaning my brush off using that in between picking up all of these contrasting shades. But I'm going to go back into Thistle and add just add it back again to the inner portion. Again, not that I feel like I'm losing the vibrancy of the shade. I just want to make sure it remains at the forefront. And I'm like really working this shade into like this little portion of my eye. I like on a day-to-day, I don't put eyeshadow there, but because this is a fun, almost like costumey theme eyeshadow, we're just doing it. Okay, I'm ready to start adding some shimmers. Out of my Ensley Rain Harvest Moon palette, I want to dip into the shade Deciduous and focus that on the outer portion of my eye. Is that how I want to do this? Yes, I want Deciduous on the outer portion of my eye, and then we'll come back for more. Okay, I'm sorry if my camera got a little bit messed up, but we are going to forage on ahead. So here is the shade Deciduous. Hopefully you can see some of that shift and all of that shine. I have not laid down a glitter glue or glitter adhesive primer of any kind. Oh, that's so yummy. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Witchful Thinking, also from the Harvest Moon palette. Here is Witchful Thinking on my finger. It's got all the beautiful hollow chromes and a shift to it. I'm going to put this on the inner portion of my eye. I'm gonna go back into Flutter and our shade Thistle here with this old BH Cosmetics brush and add that purple matte back in over where we just put the beautiful shimmer. I do feel like that shade disappeared when I touched it with my finger, which is probably why people don't use their fingers with their shimmers, but oh well. I'm definitely getting carried away on this, like the shape. But again, oh well. It's also kind of a look, right? Like having that super intense purple shade just on the inner portion. Okay, so I want to put a shimmer right down the center and like just make it the center of everything going on. And I swatched a few, so let me show you what I've swatched. Here is a shade from the Flutter palette that's super smooth. Here is a shade from Cosmic Dreamer. Here's a shade from Twisted Tea Party. And this shade is from Lands of Enchantment. I think any of them would be really pretty. I think I'm gonna rule out this one and this one. So here we go. One of these two. We could do one on one eye and one on the other. Or we could do one in the center and one on the inner corner. I think it's gotta be this one, this shade from the Flutter palette. Voice off in the comments, which one did you want me to pick? So this is the shade Garden Glow from the Flutter palette. I don't know if you're able to see the shift on that or not, but it's really, really cool. And it's so smooth to the touch. Oh, I love that shade. Okay, I'm gonna put this right in the center. That's so cool. I'll blend it into the other shades here in just a minute. Is this so over dramatic? Yes, and it's so much fun. I'm going to use this fluffier brush from Sierra Martin and just kind of blend out the edges of that centered shimmer on the top, and then do any other blending that I think needs to be done on the top lash line, and then we'll go to the lower lash line. Because I can't not bring in this gorgeous palette, this is the Glaminatrix Nocturnal palette. I have the original. I've been seeing some comparisons of the 2.0 that they have out right now, and I'm so very intrigued, but I have this palette, so I just need to use and play with the beautiful one that I do already have. But I said I want to do a blown out lower lash line of purple, and it's true. I want to start with the shade Witching Hour and blow that out under my lower lash line. I am using this little Sierra Martin brush to do that. Okay, I want to add a shimmer to the lower lash line, and I want to add in the beautiful Ghost Moon from Harvest Moon. It's a super, super shifty shade, and it's super smooth to the touch, and it's not one that I reach for on a regular basis because it's so deep, but I think it'll be really interesting in this look. I'm going to start by grabbing that shade and applying it with my fingertip, and I may pick up a brush, may spray the brush, but that's how we're going to apply this shade. Okay, that shade went everywhere, which is not something that scares us when we are playing with makeup. I can clean that up a little bit, but also isn't that like Beetlejuice? Being a little crazy and unpredictable and all over the place? Maybe I'm just trying to make myself feel better, but I really like that shade on the lower lash line. I think it adds this drama. It's very cool. I have this eyeliner pencil from Pixie. This is the shade Black Blue. It basically looks black, but I'm gonna add this to my waterline. So it basically looks black, but it's just ever so slightly not black. It's ever so slightly just blue. I'm going to attempt to add just a little bit more mascara to my lower lash line. I'm also, it's your lucky day, I'm going to add some false lashes, and we'll come back to keep moving on this look. I'm probably gonna add a little something more for my blush, and then we'll do lips. Okay, we are back. I have lashes on. The lashes that I'm wearing are these Kiss lashes. This is the style Shy. I like these. They're definitely more dramatic for a more dramatic look. Even though they're natural, I know that people can get away with wearing the most vavoom eyelashes, and I typically don't like those on me. So a little bit more dramatic of a natural version lash is much more my speed. Black eyeshadow to like fill in the gap, and I used a Q-tip to kind of clean up where I went a little too haywire with the shimmer on the lower lash line. And I think that's all I've done. I haven't added in any like concealer or anything around the eyeshadow because it's kind of messy and that's like fitting the theme for me. So I'm happy with it. I do want to add a blush. I feel like the blush on the cheeks right now is a little bit warm toned for what I'm envisioning. So maybe I'll just use some concealer, put some concealer on my cheeks to cover up the blush that's there, and then we'll go in with something different for the blush. I'm taking my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Dark Spots concealer and just put some on both cheeks. We will grab this brush. This is a brush from the brand Julep that I picked up at a TJ Maxx quite some time ago. Okay, that's doing a nice job. Okay, so for blush, I'm kind of thinking about this liquid blush that I have. I believe they call this a blush lighter of sorts, but this is a Juvia's Place liquid blush in the shade Blush Lily Glow. It's cool toned and it's shimmery. And if I were going for the full Beetlejuice theme, we could even like carve out cheekbones with like a cool shade of contour, but that's not really thinking about that. But I do think that this shade will give us some of that cool tone that I feel like is kind of missing. This is super pigmented and I don't wear it very regularly. It's the only shade that I have, but the formula is very nice. Let me know in the comments if you have anything in this formula, whether they're shimmery or not shimmery blushes, and what you think of it. Take this Real Techniques brush that I have. I feel like this is matching like the inner portion of the eye. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's cool. That is like perfect with this look. That looks so cool. And it's still shimmery, so it's got the glam effect to it. Hopefully you're seeing this on camera okay. I know that sometimes the camera washes out blush, and I really hope that's not the case. I can go back in and add just a little bit more here in a second, but I want to add some concealer to my nose because my nose likes to eat concealer, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm gonna add just a splash more of this blush, and then we will move on to the lips. Okay, so here is my plan for the Beetlejuice lips. I know that this is kind of trending on Instagram, probably on TikTok right now. I don't know if YouTube cares about it, but hey, we're here to play. So the Beetlejuice lips, if you haven't seen them, it's taking some kind of green pigment, putting it all over your lips, and then you scrunch your lips together, kind of like this, to emphasize all of the little wrinkles in your lips. And then most people are taking a black pigment and put it on your lips while your lips are scrunched together. And then when you pull them apart, it shows the difference. The green and the black is kind of like hills and valleys. I'm not explaining that well at all, but it creates a really cool texture on your lips. So how I want to try to do that, I have this water activated liner palette from Artitude Cosmetics, and I want to take this super cool, almost neon, like I don't think it's technically a neon shade, but it's got kind of a neon brightness to it. So I'm going to take this shade, put it all over my lips, and then I think I want to use one of these Nakia Joy loose pigments on my lips. These might be too fine for what we're working with, but I want to try it anyway. So the shades that I have picked are Gravity, which is kind of this purpley shade, or Galaxy, which is this blue shade. And these little pigments are multi-chrome, so they have like a black base to them, and that's why I think that they might work for this trend. But we'll give it a try, we'll see how this goes. So I just added a little drop of water to my liner here, and I'm pushing the water into the pigment to mix it all in together. Oh no, there's more than I thought. And now I'm like stressed about getting this on my lips correctly. All of that lip oil from earlier had already worn off, by the way. The green lips already feel like such a Beetlejuice thing, and it's really fun. But now we're gonna try to add the pigment. Again, most people doing this are using a black matte from what I can tell, so we'll see how this works. We're gonna try it. Okay, so just for reference of the Nakia Joy pigments, this one is the shade Galaxy, this one is the shade Gravity, and I think either one would be super cool, but I'm gonna go with Gravity. Okay, I have loaded my brush up with the pigment. Here goes nothing. Okay, it like kind of worked on my lower lips. Not so much on my upper lips, but there's less upper lip cushion, I guess, to go around anyway. That's kind of cool. That's kind of fun. It's obviously not as stark of a contrast as if I had used a black shadow, but again, we're kind of that glam side of Beetlejuice, and so we've got some sparkle. That's cool. Okay, so here we are. Here is my Beetlejuice finished look. Lips, eyes, a little glowy cool toned blush on the cheeks. This was so much fun, and I love having all these beautiful colors, this color explosion on my lids, on my whole face. I definitely don't plan to leave the house with all of this on, and that's okay. I think makeup can be so much fun just playing with what you have inside your own house and comfort zone too. Hopefully this video was fun for you to watch, to listen to feel inspired. Just pull out some of the products that you already have, that you've already spent your hard-earned money on, and let's just play with makeup, whether you're going for a Beetlejuice theme or what have you. I have been loving this series so much. Not that I don't play with makeup on my own time, I just usually don't film it. It may end up as pictures or a reel or something on Instagram, but I'm having fun doing them as videos too, and I think you guys are enjoying them as well. So let me know what you think of this video, of this look. If you did your own, please feel free to share it with me on Instagram or tag me in it or whatever. I would love to see the fun Beetlejuice or whatever colorful look that you are playing with. If you liked this video, please give the video a like. If you have any thoughts or questions or comments, please feel free to add those to the comment section below. And if you are new to my channel, I'd love it if you'd consider becoming a subscriber. Thank you so much for being here for today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one.